After 5 years, one of horror's most enduring modern franchises has returned in the form of Insidious: The Red Door. Are critics and fans raving about it? Or are they telling everyone to leave the Red Door unopened?
There's only one way to find out.
The Red Door is the 5th film overall in the series, but an especially important one, as it brings us back to where it all started. The story picks up with the Lambert family, who we followed in both Insidious and Insidious Chapter 2. Now Josh and a college-aged Dalton are forced to travel deeper into the further than ever before, facing their family's dark past and a host of new terrors that lurk behind the titular Red Door.
Our family has been keeping secrets. They suppressed our memories.
Several members of the slash film crew have seen the Red Door, and had much to say about it. For instance, Matt Donato was disappointed in Patrick Wilson's directing debut, referring to it as a letdown, before adding, "It's torn between being a Lambert family drama and spooky submersion into the further once more, never finding harmony or balance." On the flip side, Bill Bria had a good time with the film, writing, "If you're already Insidious-pilled, then the Red Door is a great time. Best MRI scare scene yet. Patrick Wilson does a duet with Ghost for the end credits, come on now." In his official review, Chris Evangelista gave the movie a 6 out of 10 rating, calling it mostly successful, and writing, "It closes the book on the Lambert family, and delivers more than a few thrills and chills. It doesn't reinvent the wheel, and it doesn't really add a whole lot to the series as a whole." Emphasizing that the film doesn't spend a lot of time explaining itself, or the now complex mythology that the franchise has developed across 5 entries. He continued, "Some viewers might actually be surprised at how little the overall Insidious mythology is explored. But perhaps Wilson and company figured we already knew everything we needed to know. Perhaps they're right. It's okay to let some things remain a mystery, especially things in the further."
When you awaken the dead, the further you travel, the riskier your journey will become.
Critics overall are a bit mixed on our reunion with the Lambert family. Collider's Perry Nemiroff wrote that it's a solid return to the further, explaining that it blends visuals, set pieces, and character-focused scares well.
I feel like I'm getting closer to something, or something's getting closer to me.
Anthony of Film Independent had similarly kind things to say, writing, "Patrick Wilson's love for the series allows his directorial debut to be a frightening send-off. A surprisingly heartfelt story of fathers and sons. He did mention it is conventional at times, but always gripping." The Guardian's Charles Bermesco, meanwhile, was pretty harsh in sharing his thoughts on the weekend's big new release. He wrote, "Sorry to say that Insidious: The Red Door is more like Insipid-us, The Red Snore. I am generally pro-Patrick Wilson and take no pleasure in reporting this. But hey, not quite the worst movie I've seen this week." Similar to the critics, fans seem to be having varied reactions to the movie in the early going. One Twitter user had mixed thoughts on the film, writing, "Insidious: The Red Door was okay. Great story for a closure. A bit slow at start. Overall, it's good." Another Twitter user had nothing but nice things to say about the latest Insidious entry, writing, "As someone who grew up alongside these movies, I'm really satisfied with this final entry. Patrick did a phenomenal job with this as his director debut. If the franchise is close to your heart, you'll definitely enjoy." Meanwhile, another Twitter user didn't mince any words, giving this advice to anyone who hasn't seen it yet. "Do what you will this summer, but don't bother opening the Red Door until it hits streaming." It seems the bottom line we can glean from this collection of reactions is that the Red Door may not be worth the time or money required to make a trip to the theater, at least if you're not a die-hard fan of the franchise.